prasade bhai he baba doriya jai he baba doriya jai Lara prasade bhai he baba doriya jai Krishna prapti hoy te Krishna prapti hoy te Krishna prapti hoy te prapti Mukha Padma Bhagya Jite Te Gauriya Kya 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 Arana Gauriya Maneya Sa Arana Gauriya Maneya Charane Rati Ese Utamagati Charane Rati Ese Utamagati Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Utamagati Radhe Samagati Ye Prasade Pure Sabasa Sade Pure Sabasa Ye Prasade Pure Sabasa Sade Jagudano Dilade, Jane Jamne Prabhute, Jagudano Dilade, Jane Jamne Prabhute, Jamne Prabhute, Divigan de Pakasita, de Pakasita. If you got the Prakasita, Hima Bhakti Jate, Avidya Vinasa Jate, Avidya Vinasa Jate, Prema Bhakti Jate, Avidya Vinasa Jate, Avidya Vinasa Jate. Veriga Janara Charita Veriga Janara Charita Guru Karuna Sindhu Andama Janara Bandhu Sindhu Andama Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Andama Janara Bandhu Logana Logera Jivana Logana Devana Prabhu Gora Doya Deha Mare Parajoya Gora Doya Deha Mare Parajoya Prabhu Gora Doya Deha Mare Parajoya Because it's a Devana Sila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Viguru Karuna Sindhu Andamajanara Bandhu Viguru Karuna Sindhu Andamajanara Bandhu Logana Logera Devana Logana Logera Devana Prabhu Gora Joya Deha Mare Parajoya Prabhu Gora Joya Deha Mare Parajoya Because this is the Bhuvana Gila Prabhupada Bhaktita Pavana Bhaktita Pavana Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Andamajanara Bandhu Karuna Sindhu Andamajanara Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Andamajanara Bandhu Lokena Lokera Devana Devana Lokana Lokera Devana Prabhu Gora Joya Deha Mare Parajoya Deha Mare Parajoya Prabhu Gora Joya Deha Mare Parajoya Because it's the Tribhuvana Srila Prabhupada Bhaktita Pavana Prabhu Gora Joya Deha Mare Parajoya Prabhu Gora Joya Deha Mare Parajoya Srila Prabhupada Bhaktita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Bhaktita Pavana Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai 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 Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nivishesha Sunyavadi Bhakyachara Satarane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nivishesha Sunyavadi Bhakyachara Satarane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadada Gadada Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Yadavaya Nama, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshvaya Nama, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshvaya Nama, Keshvaya Nama. Gopa Govinda Ramji Madhusuda, Gopa Govinda Ramji Madhusudana, Giridhari Gopinath Modana Moha, Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Krishna Yadavaya, Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama, Vaya Keshavaya Nama. Vite Chanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Shri Advaita, Vite Chanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya, Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama, Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama. Jirupi Sanatan Bhata Raghunatha, Sanatan Bhata Raghunatha, Jirupi Sanatan Bhata Raghunatha, Sanatan Bhata Raghunatha, Siddhiva Gopala Bhata Das Raghunatha, Siddhiva Gopala Bhata Das Raghunatha. Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya, Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama, Madhavaya Keshavaya, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Radha Rama Sunda, 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 Radha Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Jai Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Jai 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 Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Babu Ba, Jai Jai Babu. Prabhupada, Paramahansa Parapachakacharya Satata Shishi Maharaj Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Shripad Paramahansa Parapachakacharya Satata Shishi Maharaj Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Saranta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Nantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Friends of the host, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanasha Makun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Go Pramanandi. All glories the symbol of devotees. All glories the symbol of devotees. All glories the symbol of devotees. All glories Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. So I'm going to read a little something about Srila Prabhupada. This is written by Tamal Krishna Goswami. Srila Prabhupada never wanted to be late for any preaching engagement. He used to say that Bhaktivinoda Thakur would arrive at the train station hours early just so that he would not miss the train. Prabhupada himself always preferred to be early. Once in Japan, Srila Prabhupada had an appointment with executives of the Dai Nippon Printing Company. He did not wish to be late, so he dressed quickly and then chanted his Gayatri while walking to the car. Although he was very strict about matters of sadhana, he was willing to forego certain rules in order to spread Krishna consciousness. Whatever Prabhupada did was great. He is the first person whose eating of dal and chapatis has made thousands of people all over the world eat dal and chapatis. Whatever a great man does, other people will follow. A lot of people ate dal and chapatis in India before Prabhupada, but it didn't make anybody else do it. I thought that was the sweetest thing. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He got there early. He was chanting Gayatri on the way to the car. That was the point of that story, that he was willing to forego the strict rules of sadhana for preaching. Okay, you get that. Prabhupada is simple, Pran. Don't analyze it too much. Okay. We have the huge festivals coming up, and there's just so much to do. So first of all, Wednesday starts Julan Yatra. So please know that every morning it's at 7:30, and every evening at 6:30, you can have the great privilege of pushing Shishi Chota Radhe Sham on their swing. So please come, and it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this coming week. And then Sunday, of course, is Balaram Jayanti. It's a huge day here. We have a full-day festival starting at Mangalartik. A new outfit is offered at 8 a.m., class right after that. And then we have Abhishek. The pujaris will bathe Chota Krishna Balaram. And the bhajans will be going on all day in the temple room. And then at 4:15, we have the artik like we do every Sunday. And then we'll take the Chota Krishna Balaram on a parikrama around the property. We won't go too far back because we only have 1 hour. During the week we can go longer, but it falls on a Sunday this year, so we try to keep to the Sunday schedule. So then we'll come back for a homa. We chant 108 names of Lord Balaram, and it's very auspicious and purifying, and the children can come and break the honey pot. That's at 6:15 for them, and then the feast is served at 6:30. If you're getting calls from our fundraisers, please take the calls, and please be generous. It takes a tremendous amount of Lakshmi and organization to put on all the different festivals that fall in the summer. It isn't just Janmashtami, it's Balaram Jayanti, and it's Julan Yatra, and it's Radhastami, and it's Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja Day. So many, many things to cover. So please let go a little bit for Krishna's festivals. Also, the sign-up sheets are at the back of the temple room, and we ask everyone to please take an hour of service on that day. There's plenty to do. You need chapati roller. Anybody want to roll chapatis during class? You can hear class in the kitchen. Also, we're making a lot of cookies, like 4,000 cookies, because we have a little box of prasadam for every person who comes throughout the day, our guests. We have several thousand guests that come. So if anyone would like to either help me make them in the kitchen or make them at home and bring me 100 cookies, that would be great. That would be very helpful. Okay, here are the devotees who assisted their spiritual master in dressing the deities today. Shishi Radha Sham Sundar Shama Priya Prabhu, Chota Radha Shama Sundar Raghunath Prabhu, Shishi Krishna Balaram Guru Prasad Prabhu, Chota Krishna Balaram Sharala Prabhu, Shishi Gaurnitai Manjari Sundari Prabhu, Chota Gaurnitai Gandharvika Prabhu, Guru Zanlor Nishingadev, Ram Narayan Prabhu. And is Nagaraj giving class today? Keshav is giving class today. Okay, Hari Bol.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajajanarandana Yashodanandana Bhajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Stotra Sata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 47, the Song of the Bee, and today's text 12 and 13. This is a different tune for this particular two, well, many of these verses here as the gopis will speak. Let's see if I get it right. I checked with Krishna Swarup Prabhu for the particular tune, so let's see if we get it. Gopya Uvacha Madhupakitava Bandho Maspishingam Sapatnya Kucha Vilulita Mala Kunkumas Mashrubirna Bhatu Madhupatistan Mani Ninam Prasadam Yarusarasi Vidamyam Yasya Dutas Tvamidrik. It's a little close. Again. Gopya Vacha Marupakitava Bandho Maspishangrim Sapatnya Kucha Vilulita Mala Kunkumas Mashrubirna Vahatu madhupatistan mani ninam prasadam. Yadu sarasi viramyam yasya dutastvamidrik. Anyone like to try? Gopi Vacha. Devabando Maspasinya. Kucha Vilulitamala Kunkumas Mashubhina. Madhupatistan Manininam Prasadam Ram Sapatnya. Kucha Vilulitamala Kunkumas Mashubhina. Bahudrupatistan maninam prasaram. Yarusasividam yam yasya dutastvamidre. Srila Prabhupada must be listening and smiling. All these Kali Yuga brahmanas. Okay, so we'll do the word for word for this one. Gopi Uvacha. The Gopi said, Madhupa, O bumblebee, Kitava, of a cheater, Bandho, O friend, Masprisha, please do not touch. Angrim, the feet. Sapatnya, of the lover who is our rival. Kucha, the breast. Vilulita, fallen from. Mala, from the garland. Kunkuma, with the red cosmetic. Smashrubihi, with the whiskers. Naha, our. Vahatu, let him bring. Madhupati, the Lord of the Madhu dynasty. Tat, his. Manininam, to the women. Prasadam, mercy or kindness. Sadasi, in the royal assembly of the Yadus. Yadu Sadasi. Yadu Sadasi, in the royal assembly of the Yadus. Vidamyam, an object of ridicule or contempt. Yasya, whose. Dutaha, messenger. Tam, you. Idrik, such. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. The gopi said, O honeybee, O friend of a cheater, don't touch my feet with your whiskers, which are smeared with the kumkum that rubbed onto Krishna's garland when it was crushed by the breasts of a rival lover. Let Krishna satisfy the women of Mathura. One who sends a messenger like you will certainly be ridiculed in the Yadu's assembly. Purport. Srimati Radharani indirectly chastised Krishna by chastising the bumblebee, which she took for his messenger. She addressed the bumblebee as Madhupa, one who drinks the nectar of flowers. And she addressed Krishna as Madhupati, the Lord of Madhu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that this and the following 9 verses exemplify 10 kinds of impulsive speech spoken by a lover. This verse illustrates the qualities of Prajalpa as described by Srila Rupa Goswami in the following verse from his Ujjvala Nilamani 14.182. Asuyasya madayuja yovadhirana mudraya priyasya kaushalo gara prajalpa satukirtyate. Prajalpa is speech that denigrates the tactlessness of one's lover with expressions of disrespect. Krishna's tactless treatment of Radharani. Text number 13. Sakriradhara suram swamoinim payayitva sumanasa iva sadyas tatyajesman bhavadrik paricharati katham tat parapadmam nupadma yapi bata hritacheta yuttama shloka jalpai. I should hurry Parayan Prabhu can sing it much better than. Translation. After making us drink the enchanting nectar of his lips only once, Krishna suddenly abandoned us, just as you might quickly abandon some flowers. How is it then that Goddess Padma willingly serves his lotus feet? Alas, the answer must certainly be that her mind has been stolen away by his deceitful words. Purport. In this verse, Srimati Radharani continues to compare Sri Krishna to the bumblebee, and in her distress, she states that the reason the goddess of fortune is constantly devoted to his lotus feet must be that she has been fooled by Krishna's promises. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, this statement of Srimati Radharani illustrates Parijalpa as described in Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. Prabhu nidayata satya chapalyadhyupapadanat swavichakshanata vyaktir bhangyasyat parijalpitam. Parijalpa is that speech which, through various devices, shows one's own cleverness by exposing the mercilessness, duplicity, unreliability, and so on of one's Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Srila Virabahu Prabhu Iti Namine Shri Shri Vindata Vivida Parapankajadayini Prabhupada Nuvadaya Namaha Shri Virabhavi Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, I'll just read the translation again just to remind. The gopi said, "O honeybee, O friend of a cheater, don't touch my feet with your whiskers, which are smeared with the kumkuma that rubbed onto Krishna's garland when it was crushed by the breasts of a rival lover. Let Krishna satisfy the women of Mathura. One who sends messenger like you will certainly be ridiculed in the Yadu's assembly." After making us drink the enchanting nectar of his lips only once, Krishna suddenly abandoned us, just as you might quickly abandon some flowers. How is it then that Goddess Padma willingly serves his lotus feet? Alas, the answer must certainly be that her mind has been stolen away by his deceitful words. So, this particular gopi is Srimati Radharani, discussing the talking with the bee, the honeybee, bumblebee, sometimes described. So, Srila Prabhupada described that this type of separation, this mode of separation from the Supreme Lord, is the highest form of love of Godhead, and there are many stages of that. So I thought I'll read a little bit from the Krishna book, which explains a little more in Srila Prabhupada's own words about this particular pastime. Let's see here. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, text 6, a cheater is described, and among the cheaters, one of them who thought himself being a cheater was Ajamil in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'd just like to read this, and then we'll look into the some verses from the Krishna book. It says here, Ajamil continued that I am a shameless cheater who has killed his Brahminical culture. Indeed, I am sin personified. Where am I in comparison to the all-auspicious chanting of the holy name of Lord Narayan? And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada described, those engaged in broadcasting the holy name of Narayan Krishna through the Krishna consciousness movement should always consider what our position was before we came and what it is now. We had fallen into abominable lives as meat-eaters, drunkards, and women hunters, who performed all kinds of sinful activities. But now we have been given the opportunity to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Therefore, we should always appreciate this opportunity. By the grace of the Lord, we are opening many branches, and we should use this good fortune to chant the holy name of the Lord and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. We must be conscious of the difference between our present and past conditions, and should always be very careful not to fall from this most exalted life. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Srimati Radharani in her pure love is describing Krishna as a cheater, and she is going to describe many forms of Krishna also in this little reading that we'll do, and it's it's a very, very high topic, as you all know. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10, especially this part with the gopis, because one may see it from one angle of vision as being very, very bad, and from the other side, from the other spiritual vision, it is actually the highest type of love that one can have for the Supreme Lord. So, this is Krishna book, and I'll just start here, chapter 47. This is from second paragraph down. I can understand that you're expert in reuniting two opposing parties, but at the same time you must know that I cannot place my reliance upon you or upon your master Krishna. Srimati Radharani speaks. We left our husbands, children and relatives only for Krishna, yet he did not feel any obligation in exchange. At last he left us forlorn. Do you think we can place our faith in him again? We know that Krishna cannot live for a moment without the association of young women. That is his nature. He is finding difficulty in Mathura because he is no longer in the village among innocent cowherd girls. He is in the aristocratic society and must be feeling difficulty in making friendships with other young girls. Perhaps you have come here to canvass again or to take us there, but why should Krishna expect us to go there? He is greatly qualified to entice all other girls, not only in Vrindavan or Mathura, but all over the universe. So we'll see, this is one form of this ecstasy where she is chastising, and then later on we'll see after she is chastised, and she would feel badly that Krishna is hearing her, and then she would fall into another type of ecstasy that now Krishna is probably feeling some pain because of my harsh words, and that will continue like. He is greatly qualified to entice all other girls, not only in Vrindavan or Mathura, but all over the universe. His wonderfully enchanting smile is so attractive, and the movements of his eyebrows are so beautiful that he can call for any woman from the heavenly, middle, or plutonic planets. Even Mahalakshmi, the greatest of all goddesses of fortune, hankers to render him some service. In comparison to all these women of the universe, what are we? We are very insignificant. And then she continues, Krishna advertises himself as magnanimous, and he is praised by great saints. His qualifications would be perfectly utilized if he would only show us some mercy, for we are so much downtrodden and neglected by him. You poor messenger, you are only a less intelligent servant. You do not know much about Krishna, how ungrateful and hard-hearted he has been, not only in this life, but in his previous lives also. We have all heard this from our grandmother Purnamasi. She has informed us that Krishna was born in a Kshatriya family previous to this birth, and was known as Ramachandra. In that birth, instead of killing Bali, an enemy of his friend, in the manner of a Kshatriya, he killed him just like a hunter. A hunter takes a secure hiding place and then kills an animal without facing it. So Lord Ramachandra, as a Kshatriya, should have fought with Bali face to face, but instigated by his friend, he killed him from behind a tree. Thus he deviated from the religious principles of a Kshatriya. Now Srimati Radharani, when you are actually absorbed in someone, you can't help but talk about them. Even if sometimes we are absorbed in a particular situation or something, some problems is there in the community or something, it's on our mind. So everyone we meet, because we're so absorbed in that particular thing, we can't help but as soon as we meet somebody, we start talking about it. So here she is talking about not just Krishna, but the forms that Krishna has taken, and how he wasn't a good Kshatriya because he fought from behind a tree. The Kshatriya code is that you have to face someone when you're fighting with them, and if he has a weapon and you take the same weapon, you don't. Everything has to be equal. Also, he was so attracted by the beauty of Sita that he converted Surpanaka, the sister of Ravan, into an ugly woman by cutting off her nose and ears. Surpanaka proposed an intimate relationship with him, and as a Kshatriya, he should have satisfied her. But he was so henpecked that he could not forget Sita Devi and converted Surpanaka into an ugly woman. Before that birth as a Kshatriya, he took his birth as a Brahman boy named Vaman and asked charity from Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was so magnanimous that he gave him whatever he had, yet Krishna as Vamandev ungratefully arrested him just like a crow and pushed him down to the Patal kingdom. We know all that about Krishna and how ungrateful he is, but here is a difficulty. In spite of his being so cruel and hard-hearted, it is very difficult for us to give up talking about him. And it is not only it's not only we who are unable to give up this talk, but great sages and saintly persons also engage in talking about him. We gopis of Vrindavan do not want to make any more friendships with this blackish boy, but we do not know how we shall be able to give up remembering and talking about his activities. Since Krishna is absolute, his so-called unkind activities are as relishable as his kind activities. Therefore, saintly persons and great devotees like the gopis cannot give up Krishna in any circumstances. Lord Chaitanya therefore prayed, Krishna, you are free and independent in all respects. You can either embrace me or crush me under your feet, whatever you like. You may make me broken-hearted by not letting me see you throughout my whole life, but you are my only object of love. In my opinion, Srimati Radharani continued, no one should hear about Krishna, because as soon as a drop of nectar of his transcendental activities is poured into the air, one immediately rises above the duality of attraction and rejection. One should not hear about Krishna. That'll sound like a non-devotee. One should never hear about Krishna, but here we see Srimati Radharani qualifying that statement and saying, because as soon as one gets a drop of that nectar of his activities, when it is poured into his ear, one immediately rises above the duality of attraction and rejection. Being completely freed from the contamination of material attachment, one gives up attachment for this material world, including family, home, wife, children, and everything else, materially, that is dear to every person. Being deprived of all material acquisitions, one makes relatives and himself unhappy. Thus he wanders in search of Krishna, either as a human being or an other species of life. Even as a bird involuntarily accepts the profession of a mendicant. It is very difficult to actually understand Krishna, his name, his qualities, his form, his pastimes, his paraphernalia, and his entourage. It is true that it is very difficult to understand Krishna. When one is a non-devotee, cannot understand Krishna. There are people who ask, how is it that you can worship Krishna and he has so many wives? Lord Ramachandra taught the principle of one man, one wife. And here is Krishna with so many girlfriends. So it is difficult, on one hand, it's difficult to understand Krishna, unless one has that bhakti, unless one has that love for Krishna and understands Krishna through his pure devotee. And that way we get a little semblance of who Krishna is. When the pure devotee of the Lord, like Srila Prabhupada, when he describes Krishna, then we can glance into his reality. Srimati Radharani continued to speak to the black messenger of Krishna. Krishna is black and his messenger is also black. Please do not talk any more about Krishna. It is better to talk about something else. We are already doomed, like the black-spotted she-deer in the forest, who are enchanted by the sweet musical vibration of the hunter. In the same way, we have been enchanted by the sweet words of Krishna, and by thinking of the rays of his toenails again and again, we are becoming more and more lusty for his association. Therefore, I request you not to talk of Krishna anymore. These talks of Radharani with the bumblebee messenger, including her accusing Krishna in so many ways, and at the same time expressing her inability to give up talking about him, are signs of the topmost transcendental ecstasy, called Mahabhava. The ecstatic Mahabhava manifestation is possible only in the persons of Radharani and her associates. So here is a distinction of those who could actually experience that very high state. Srimati Radharani and her associates. Great acharyas like Srila Rupa Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur have analyzed these Mahabhava speeches of Srimati Radharani and described their different varieties such as Udghurna or bewilderment and Jalpa Pratijalpa or talking in different ways. These are the signs of Ujjvala Rasa or the brightest jewel of love of God. When Radharani was talking with the bee and the bee was flying hither and thither, it all of a sudden dissipated from her sight. She was in full mourning due to separation from Krishna and felt ecstasy by talking with the bee. But as soon as the bee disappeared, she became almost mad, thinking that the messenger bee might have returned to Krishna to inform him all about her talking against him. So now here is the change. Krishna must be very sorry to hear that, she thought. In this way, she was overwhelmed by another type of ecstasy. Uddhava continued reading Krishna's message and said, "Nothing is separate from me. The whole cosmic manifestation is resting on me and is not separate from me. Before the creation, I was existing." That's the end of Krishna's sentence. This is confirmed in the Vedic literature. Eko Narayanam Asin, na Brahma, na Ishanaha. This is confirmed in the Vedic literature. Before creation, there was only Narayan. There was no Brahma, no Shiva. The whole cosmic manifestation is manipulated by the three modes of material nature. It is said that Brahma, the incarnation of the quality of passion, creates this universe. But Brahma is the secondary creator. The original creator is Narayana. This is confirmed by Shankaracharya. Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Narayan is transcendental beyond the cosmic creation. In this way, nothing within this cosmic manifestation is separate from Krishna, although Krishna's original form is not visible in everything. Krishna creates, maintains, and annihilates the whole cosmic manifestation by expanding himself in different incarnations. Everything is Krishna and everything depends on Krishna, but he is not perceived in the material energy, and therefore it is called Maya or illusion. In the spiritual energy, however, Krishna is perceived at every step, in all circumstances. This perfectional stage of understanding is represented by the gopis. As Krishna is always aloof from the cosmic manifestation, although it is completely dependent on him, so a living entity is also completely aloof from his material conditioned life, although the material body has developed on the basis of spiritual existence. In the Bhagavad Gita, the whole cosmic manifestation is accepted as the mother of the living entities, and Krishna is the father. As the father impregnates the mother by injecting the living entity into the womb, Krishna injects all the living entities into the womb of material nature. They come out in different bodies according to their different fruitive activities, but in all circumstances the living entity is aloof from this material conditioned life. If we simply study our own bodies, we can understand how a living entity is always aloof from this bodily engagement. Every action of the body takes place by the interactions of the three modes of material nature. We can see at every moment many changes taking place in our bodies, but the spirit soul is aloof from all changes. The body goes through the 6 different changes. But the spirit soul remains the same. One can neither create nor annihilate nor interfere with the actions of material nature. The living entity is therefore entrapped by the material body and conditioned in 3 stages, namely while awake, asleep, and unconscious. And Srila Prabhupada continued to explain that. The mind acts throughout all 3 conditions of life. The living entity in his sleeping or dreaming condition sees something as real, and when awake he sees the same thing as unreal. It is concluded, therefore, that under certain circumstances he accepts something as real, and under other circumstances he accepts the very same thing as unreal. These matters are the subject of study for the empiric philosopher or the Sankhya yogi. To come to the right conclusion, Sankhya yogis undergo severe austerities and penances, soul of the senses, and renunciation. All these different ways of determining the ultimate goal of life are compared to rivers, and Krishna is compared to the ocean. As the rivers flow down toward the ocean, all attempts for knowledge flow toward Krishna. After many, many births of endeavor, when one actually comes to Krishna, he attains the perfectional stage. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Klesho dikattaraste sham avyakta sakta chetasam, from 12.5 of Bhagavad Gita. Is there any comments or observations or anything anybody would like to say? I know it's a lot of reading, sorry, I have to read so much. Okay, I'll continue. Just a little more. All are pursuing the path of realizing me, but those who have adopted courses without any bhakti find their endeavor very troublesome. Krishna cannot be understood unless one comes to the point of bhakti. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. 3 paths are enunciated in the Bhagavad Gita: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Primarily, these 3. Those who are too much addicted to fruitive activities are advised to perform actions which will bring them to bhakti. Those who are addicted to the pursuit of empiric philosophy are also advised to act in such a way that they will realize bhakti. Karma Yoga is therefore different from ordinary karma, and Jnana Yoga is different from ordinary jnana. Ultimately, as stated by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati, only through execution of devotional service can one understand Krishna. The perfectional stage of devotional service was achieved by the gopis because they did not care to know anything but Krishna. It is confirmed in the Vedas, Kasmin Bhagavo Vigyate Sarvam Idam Vigyatam Bhavati. This means that simply by knowing Krishna, one automatically acquires all other knowledge. Uddhava continues with the message from Krishna. Transcendental knowledge of the Absolute is no longer necessary for you. You were accustomed to loving me from the very beginning of your lives. Knowledge of the Absolute Truth is specifically required for persons who want liberation from material existence. But one who has attained love for Krishna is already on the platform of liberation. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone engaged in unalloyed devotional service is to be considered situated on the transcendental platform of liberation. The gopis did not actually feel any pangs of material existence, but they felt the separation of Krishna. Krishna therefore said, My dear gopis, to increase your super excellent love for me, I have purposely separated myself from you so that you may be in constant meditation on me. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments or observations? Nothing? Okay, so we'll end there. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. This is our reading for the week. There's a question. Ramya Prabhu has a question. I don't know if I have the answer, but we'll hear the question.
Well, it's not a very major question, but here the Srimati Radharani is speaking a way of criticizing Krishna. And I guess to me it's very important to know that an extremely high level of devotion to Krishna, because she can criticize him at the same time she's so attached, so deeply in love with him, devoted to him.
Can you put the microphone a little closer?
Well, I don't think it's working too well. She's so deeply attached and devoted to Krishna that she cannot give him up at even for a second. And I notice, I see sometimes in devotees, and maybe even myself, that sometimes things don't go the way we expect, and we get a little upset with Krishna. Why? this thing happened this way instead of that way.
Right.
But it seems like our position is not like that. We can't criticize Krishna. We cannot chastise him. Why you didn't make things work out differently? Why did you?
Yeah,
give
that's the difference between us and Srimati Radharani. Yeah, there's so many who have chastised Krishna. Demons usually chastise Krishna. We hear of Kamsa and Shishupal, so many others who are chastising Krishna and wanting to kill Krishna. So Srimati Radharani and the gopis here, they're also chastising Krishna, but from a different level of relationship. Thank you, that was very good. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ha ha ha.